Alrighty, we're going live. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to anybody who is just coming by to watch. Happy to be with you guys here today. I had to take a break because I tried to film some videos and they just were not working properly. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get them to record and then they wouldn't upload and it went through a lot of issues. But for now, looks like we got one person already here watching. Thank you very much. Today, I have a very unique and pretty interesting stream. What I'm doing today is I am actually going to be mixing a song called "The Eagle Has Landed," and it's a song that Spectre Sound Studios uses. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. Let me import or track. Let's see. Insert. Move tracks. Where we go? How do I gotta see how I set these in here. Should be like an import actions. Nope. You insert tracks. Oh, insert multiple tracks. Or no. Wait. So, how do I open these in here? File, import. There should be an import. Project, save project settings, render, consolidate, export. There should be a insert media file. Okay, and then we're gonna go find my let's go find where I put those. I think it's under my desktop. Yeah, there we go. Desktop. Find my okay, so that's not working. Lovely. Well, not what would work, when you want it to. So I'm going to get rid of the snap. Actually, I'll keep snap on, but I want to get rid of that. And then there should be a way that I can import new tracks. Thank you to both of you guys currently watching. Let's see. MIDI track controls, track color, track. I should be able to just insert multiple tracks, but okay. Item. Why is there not just like an import button? Insert multiple tracks. But that is not letting me do it from... I want to open... Well, that's weird. Okay. Man, I always come so prepared. Keenan Dahl, what's up, Colts? Well, not much. Just working on trying to get some tracks put into my DAW here so I can do some audio editing. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm supposed to do this here. Boop. Track from template. Okay, I think I just gotta... Let's try the help tab. See if that does anything. Maybe I should just go to the actual thing in the file folder here. And then we can do this here. Here it is. So these are the tracks. Can I just like drag and drop? I think Reaper can drag and drop. Alrighty. Drag and drop. Did that work? No. Oh, there we go. Boop. Drop the tracks in. Does that work? No? This is making me angry. Come on. Boom. Go in. Okay. Open. But not all at once. Oh no. That's not good. Oh no. Oh, come on. That's not what I wanted. Now it's okay. For you guys who can't see, it is now opening every single one of these tracks individually, which is not what I want. Nope. Nope. This is not good. Maybe I have to extract them first, would be my guess. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna do that as soon as it's done trying to open literally all of them. Well, while this is happening, how are you guys doing? Either leave something in the chat or leave a comment. We will get to the music soon enough. Let's see what number we're on here as far as closing these out. Let's see here. 15 we're on. So we're about halfway. Tristan Shuttleworth says, good, how are you? Well, I'm doing just fine. Thank you, Tristan. Alrighty, so now let's actually extract these tracks. Boop. So I don't have them in a zip file. Then it should let me drag them and drop them into Reaper. Tristan, I'd like a question. What do you use as a DAW? Do you use, I know you don't use Reaper, and I know you told me on a previous stream at some point, but what kind of DAW do you use? Be interested to know. And is it free is the other question. Oh, you use Cubase? Okay. Oh, there we go. Separate tracks. Boom! Woo! There we go. We got a full set of multi-tracks now. They're all loading in, all that good stuff. So right now, we got a lot to work with. So right now, here we go. We're going to give it a listen, and we're going to see what this sounds like. Wow. Gonna turn the metronome off. Oh, alrighty. So this isn't the whole song, I guess, but it is the just the multi-tracks from a section of it. So let's listen again. Alrighty, so I am gonna start with the drums. So we're gonna do, I don't want the, actually I should mute these dry tracks too. So here's what we'll do. I'm gonna go through tom, floor tom, overheads, room mic, dry bass, dry, mute that, because I don't want the dry track in there. The bass, consolidated, the G1. I'm not sure. Okay, G1, dry. Okay, if it's dry, I don't want it. I actually don't want anything else right now besides the, let's start with the 20 G1 Coffee K100 Delphos. And so these are the two mics, I think, the two different mic channels that are being used to record the same guitar part. So I'm gonna mute those for now. And Tristan Shuttleworth says, not free, came with the audio interface. Cool. What interface did you buy that came with Cubase? And how many inputs? I'd be interested to know. I'm pretty happy with my interface I got. It's pretty small. It's only two channel input, but I recently just bought a new mixer, a 16 channel Mackie CR1604 mixer, and it's worked wonders on my guitar tone, and it sounds crazy good. As far as blending mics now, I got a couple, bought a few extra mics and the interface, and I actually have. I also have a hardware EQ that I bought. It came all the mics and stuff. I only bought the mixer, and this dude gave me for free from the church that I was buying this from. They're like, we need to get rid of all this junk. So I got a 31 band hardware EQ. Tommy Fisher says do a kickflip. There you go. There's your kickflip with a hardware EQ. But yeah, it's a 31 band hardware EQ. I don't have it hooked up yet at the moment, so any of my guitar you guys hear will not have gone through the EQ. But all of my guitar tone now that is being recorded is actually being mic'd up, blanketed over. I have two mics. I have an SM57 center speaker as a bright mic, and then actually a vocal / tom voice mic that's like a clone of the SM58, and then that is lined up away as like a darker mic, and then I blend those two tones together on my Mackie soundboard, and then it creates a pretty heavy sounding guitar tone. It sounds pretty great. Tommy Fisher said this is why sub. Haven Conros is nice. And Tristan Shuttleworth is my dad's interface Focusrite Audio Sapphire 8-input. I would want an 8-input at some point down the line, but for now, the 16-channel mixer that I bought is a much cheaper solution that works still well. So I'm not worried about that for now. But, yeah. Oh, wow. There are many guitar parts recorded here. Let's, I think I just need to mute these for now. Because right now we're just going to look at the drums. Just looking at the drums. Lead, Mjolnir, boom, mute, harmony, dry. I don't want any of that. I just want my drums. I don't want the click track right now. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will leave the click track on. The kick I want on. Sub kick I want. Snare top, snare condenser, snare bottom, and toms. Okay, so I think I have everything. I'm actually going to try to mix it without the click for now. Let's just hear what it sounds like from the beginning, just the drums. Okay, so that's what the drums are sounding like by themselves. I think we are going to need to start out, we're going to start out by throwing a compressor, I believe, on my drums. I'm going to look at my little notes book I got here. I got some audio mixing notes. But I think what we're going to start out with is start working on compressing the right parts of the drums. I think I will volume mix first and then proceed to work on there. So let's see here. I think the first thing we should do, that's miking up, drum editing. Don't punch in on cymbal hits. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Create. Yeah, okay, so that's drum editing. I'm not going to edit the drums just because I'm a very strong believer that as far as, editing drums and making them dead on without any freaking, change or any, offbeat stuff that isn't technically supposed to be there, it takes a lot of the humanity out of the performance, and it doesn't have that same human vibe. So I'm going to leave the drums alone. I'm going to leave the actual editing alone because it sounds pretty good. I mean, I'm not too worried. Thank you to all four of you guys watching. And yeah, we are going to work on the kick and snare first. I'm just going to go in order of what I have for my notes. But let's go. So I have, let's see, snare condenser, top mic, bottom mic, tom mic, Actually, you know what? Very, very, very first thing I'm going to do is I am actually going to I'm going to go through and I'm gonna make a drum bus track, and use that drum bus track to be able to adjust the volume fader on my drums and put, you know, full effects on it all at once, for master compression and EQ and all that stuff. So this is going to be my drum bus, and then I want that, where to go? Where is it on the bottom here? Drum bus. Boop. Drum bus. And on my drum bus, I want the sends and receives. I want to receive from, new receives. I want to receive toms. I want to receive from floor tom. I want to receive from overheads. I want to receive from room mic. This is a well mic drum kit. It's awesome. So from room mic, and then bass dry, guitars, kick. I want my kick. I want my sub kick. I want my snare top. I want my snare condenser. I want my snare bottom. And I'm not going to mix this whole song on the one stream here. It'll take a couple streams to get through. So I figured it'd be a pretty cool thing. I'll work on it tomorrow and today. But yeah. Okay, let's see. What's my most recent one? Floor tom. Okay, what's the bottom one now? My bottom of my snare bottom mic. And the last one is tom consolidated. Nice. Alrighty. And then now I need to go to those channels and turn off, so those are the receives, and then it has a master send, so it'll send to the master. So now let me find my, routing here. Boom, I want the master. Actually, no, I'll just turn off my master. Boot, routing. Oh, it just has sends on the master track. It doesn't have my... Alrighty, let's go. Tom 1. Not gonna send to the master. Snare bottom. Not gonna send it to the master. Snare condense. Condenser snare. We're going to get rid of that. Snare top. Sub kick. So I'll go through and explain a quick overview, I guess, of the actual drum mics, which would be pretty cool. Just to get an idea of you know, where all these mics are placed. All that stuff. Snare condense. I did the consolidated kick, the click track, harmonies, leads. This is all guitars. Toms. We're gonna get rid of that master send. And what I'm doing right now, if you're curious, I am taking all of my drums and making it so that my master track, or like the main output of the mix here, I'm making it so it has to go through that bus track that I made first, then it'll get routed to the master track. So everything will have to go through the master track first. So the overheads. Let's see, my room mic. Yeah, this certainly mic'd up with everything for this. Room mics, sub kick, you know, it's crazy. Alrighty, it looks like we have all of the things properly routed. Let's make sure we're not missing anything. Give it a listen. Oops. Here we go. Okay. Okay, good stuff. So, okay, we got the drum bus set up, and to go through all of our mics, we have... Alright, lovely. So, let's go through and take a look at all of our drums. We have a tom, medium tom, we have a floor tom, we have 2 overhead mics, which pick up the whole kit and get the cymbals. The room mic gets placed somewhere towards the back of the room that just catches an echo of the whole drum set as it's being played. And then over on this end of things, we have another middle tom. The bottom of the snare is mic'd. The top of the snare is mic'd. There's a condenser mic on the snare as well. So the snare's mic'd up quite a bit for we can have a lot of say in how our snare tone goes. And then kick drum and a sub kick drum, and that just means it's a secondary kick drum that's placed a little further back or in a different spot on the drum that kind of tells you more of, how you can add a bigger thump and a more bass echoey kind of tone to your bass drum or your kick drum. So to start with, we are going to work on the kick drum. I think kick and snare are our 2 biggest ones we want to use. Okay, so, yep, let's start out and do the kick and snare, and we're just going to experiment a little bit. We're going to find a good tone with the snare and kick. So, the drum bus, we are going to mute, we're gonna leave the kick and sub kick on, the snare on, and we're going to turn off toms for now. We're going to mute toms. I'm going to go back up here, get my overheads gone, and toms we're going to mute. Floor tom, overheads we don't need on, room mic we don't need. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should leave... Nah, I'll worry about room mic later. It won't have that much to pick up through that sort of thing. So right now, we just have our kick and our snare. This is what it sounds like. I'm going to mix everything here at 50% volume. It's pretty quiet. So I'm going to turn this up actually. Okay. Okay. So that's what we're working with for kick and snare. So kick and snare is what we're going to work on first. And kick and snare is going to be pretty cool, I think. I want to have a pretty big thump to the kick drum. So let's hear it without the sub kick. And then we'll slowly fade the sub kick in. So just the sub kick adds that deeper bass kind of wub. Some pretty good tracks for drums. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I think we're gonna leave the sub kick alone for now. And we're going to go and bring the regular kick up to about 0 dBs and try this one more time. It's pretty punchy, so I don't mind the kick the way it sits right now. I'll probably come back to it. But for now, the snare isn't very punchy. The snare is not very punchy. So what I'm going to work out first is I'm actually going to throw on my drum bus, throw on some Master EQ for now. I'm going to use my White Label 10Q. And I'm sorry you guys aren't going to be able to see my actual effects. I've been trying to get my window capture to work, but my window capture is not having it. So let's hit play one more time, and I'm gonna leave the EQ alone for now, but I do want my Kotelnikov compressor up right now, and I will actually I will set up a quick thing so you guys can see this, because this is important. Let me boop. We're gonna add. I'm gonna throw in a window capture. Boop. Boop. No, it's gonna be. Let me find the right window here. Okay, let me find it, see if it's gonna let me even do it. Reaper. Well, it's not showing me the window, so I don't think it's gonna let me do it. Well, that's unfortunate. Cancel. That's weird. Okay, well, we're gonna remove that. Yep. Alrighty. Well, whatever, I'm sorry. I've been trying to get this to work, but for some reason it's not. But yeah, so what we have here is my compressor. So I'm gonna hit play again and just tweak the compression. So I'm gonna set it at about negative 25 for now, negative 26 about. And then I'm gonna bring up the out gain a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna go 12 o'clock for my attack and release, just so that's about right. And then for my release peak, I'm gonna leave that at about 12 o'clock for now as well. And so my ratio, I'm gonna have it clamp down a little harder and see what this sounds like. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it at about negative 30 for now. And then I think I'm gonna turn down my kick a little bit. I'm gonna leave the sub kick up because I like the way this sounds. Cool. Okay, so here's with and without compression. This is with compression and without compression. With compression, everything gets smoothed out and chopped off a little more. I already like the way that sounds. It sounds better with the compression. And then I boost the output gain a little bit. I actually think I might turn the ratio up. Yeah, I like that. I like the higher ratio, and then I'll do my out gain up a little bit. Alrighty, very cool. Alrighty, so what I think I might do now is I'm gonna see if I can let me unmute the rest of it and see how it sounds in the full context of everything else. Let me unmute now that I kind of have a rough idea of what I want my kick and snare to sound like. We're gonna open things up a little bit and hear what it sounds like all together. Cool. Okay. I am liking the way that sounds, for sure. Especially with the compression on it. So, yeah, I want the snare to pop out a little more. It's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to... My overheads are a little much, so I'm actually going to turn down my overheads a touch. I'm going to turn my room mics back up. I think it's better to have my room mic down a little bit. Cool. Alrighty, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to EQ and kind of mess with just the snare for now. Snare top, yep, so toms I don't need on. I'm just going to mute everything except for my snare for now, and we're going to get, actually I'll leave my room mics and stuff on, not my overhead. Actually, no, never mind, it's probably better to just leave that stuff off. So we're going to do everything except for just the snare drum so we can hear what... So let's hear, this is just the top of the snare. Okay. It's lacking quite a bit. The condenser mic on the snare alone. I like the condenser on the snare a little bit better. Let's hear just the bottom. Ooh, that gets a lot more of the actual snare in there. It's a little messier. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to turn my bottom snare up to, let's see, probably -30 about. And then we're going to do the condenser snare up most. And then bring the snare up. Playing with my faders a little bit here. Okay. So, let's see. We got... Let's try it. Just listen a few more times. Let's throw on my condenser for my snare. I'm going to throw on a bit of EQ. and see if we can get a little bit of clarity. I don't know what just happened. Something just freaked out at me. Reaper, like, froze. Oh! Reaper froze. That's not good. Okay, that was weird, but it works. Uh-oh. Now it's not putting any sound out. That's not good. Okay, well, I'm going to save this project quick, and then I'm just going to reload it. Okay, save. And then we're just going to get rid of that, and then we are going to come back, because I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, Reaper froze on me. Alrighty, here we go. Should be back again. Hopefully it's loading back up. Yeah, there we go. Loading back in for you guys. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give it another listen. Just the snare. So we're going to go back to my effects that I have open on just my snare. And we're going to bring up I'm going to bring up my mids on my snare. Yeah, I'm going to focus more on the low mids and see what this... I'm going to try a boost in my low mids. There we go. I think I like actually the bottom snare mic better. I like having the real snare sound in there. Okay. I'm gonna actually turn up my bottom of my snare up a little more. There we go. Let's try that for now. Actually, let me see what I can do with an EQ on my, or not a compressor. EQ on just the snare by itself. Ah, shoot. I didn't mean to touch that. Okay, here we go. Back to the beginning, right about here. We're gonna play it. What is happening? Sorry about that. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, well, Reaper isn't liking me. That's very strange. I'm not sure what on earth is going on. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me try to... Yeah, it's not outputting to the master anymore. That's strange. Okay. Well, we got kick and snare done at least. Not sure what on earth is happening and why it's being so terrible, because that usually doesn't happen. I've never had this happen before. But okay, yeah, it's not showing that, so that's weird. I'm gonna save the project quick. Save project. Let's see if I can open a new project and have it be okay. Let's open up the curve tracks. and see if that'll work. Yeah, Reaper is being rather slow today. I don't know what is going on. That's not cool. Yeah, well, I'm not sure what's going on here, so we are just gonna close Reaper. Yeah, I really don't know what is happening. I haven't had this issue before, which is strange, but yeah, I have not had that issue with Reaper before, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is going on. Oh, well, it now that I took my camera off, maybe it's just camera shy. I think it's just camera shy. Let's open up that mix again. Yeah, that's good. Just like it loads up like nothing. Yeah, that's okay. Let's put the camera back on, I guess. That's interesting. Alrighty, so I kind of like that snare sound. I do like it. Now I'm gonna introduce the kick back in. We're gonna bring the kick drum back in, and yeah, we're gonna see what it sounds like with the snare and kick together now. Okay. I like the way that sounds. I do. So now let's get the full thing back in here and let's start working on cymbals. I feel like the room mic and the overheads are going to be some of the biggest things that I'm going to have trouble with. I got a pretty heavy I got a pretty hard compressor on it. Let's try this again. I compressed it a bit more. It's a little too compressed. I'm gonna back it off a little bit. Brings a little more life back to it. Those toms, there isn't much I have to do with the toms. Alrighty, so for now, I like the way that sounds for now. It's not perfect, but I think I'm gonna move on and start working on some effects, and then starting to introduce the guitar and bass, and just kind of start slowly easing our way into the mix. So let's see. Drum bus. Oh, okay. So I am thinking. There's something I forgot to do, or that should not have done. I'm gonna try removing my room mics and overheads from. I'm gonna put those back sent to the master, and I'm gonna delete the send to the drum bus, so they only go to the master track. Because I took a small like lesson class thing on mixing, and I got my notes from that, and I've been trying to use those as a good guideline to work on this. So let's see. Get the drum bus. Yep, don't need that to go to the drum bus, but send to the master. So let's give it one more listen without. Yeah, that already livens it up. The cymbals shouldn't be on a compressor. Yeah, that sounds much better. Okay, so we got that. We got that squared away, thankfully. So that's cool. And then let's see what else we got here. So alrighty. So I'm gonna go back in and adjust the kick and use my notes as far as what to do there. So let's see. I'm going to have the kick. Let's see what I got for my kick drum. We're gonna throw a compressor on it. And we are going to do, let's see what my recommendations are. Negative 30 dB threshold. And then medium attack and release. So we want to shoot for about 5 decibels of gain reduction, which is about what we're getting. There we go. My mic, for some reason, seems to cut out, and I don't know why it is, and I'm not happy about it. I think I might just rig up a new mic for this because, yeah, I don't know. Let me... Yeah. Alrighty. The snowball works fine and dandy, and I like it, but for now, it's not doing its job. So I'm going to switch over and set up quickly my my Nady Star Power 58 clone and get that set up. I'm going to leave the snowball on for you guys to be able to hear the mix properly. I'm going to turn that way. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. I'm going to mute my 57, so then we got just this running through my mixer. We're going to turn up the sensitivity just a little bit. Just a little bit. No. I guess I'll just have to output. Okay, so if I'm talking from right about here, I want my thing set right about at that level. Hello, la, P's and T's, and hello, hello, hello. So we're doing a quick mic check just to make sure, and that looks about right as far as a leveling system there. And then I'm going to add a new audio input capture and get this all set up. Let's see here. Secondary mic. Boop. And I'm going to have it be boop, just like that. Alrighty. There we go. So you guys should be able to hear me a little bit better. I'm going to turn up my sensitivity on this mic just a little bit. There you go. Hello. I'm just hitting the yellows, it looks like. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, there we go. Should be all set up, and I just want to check the levels when I play my mix to make sure that it's not blowing your guys' ears out. That sounds about right. Let me know if you guys want me to turn it up or down, because I can't tell. Thank you to all four of you guys currently watching, means a lot. And if you guys are not sure what I'm doing, I am mixing a metal song that was sent to me that I got just some multi-tracks from a metal song that was recorded over at Spectre Sound Studios in Windsor, Ontario, and got my hands on the tracks, so I'm just doing a little mix, little mixing and chatting. So hopefully you guys can hear that stuff okay. I might turn up the mix just a touch, get it up to like 50% volume on here, so you guys get a good, very good sound of it. So so just on the kick drum now, we have saturation, we have an EQ, and we have a compressor. Thank you for the one like on the stream. Okay, so I am definitely liking what I'm hearing. Now let me see if there's anything else I'm recommended to throw on the kick drum. I don't think I need much of a booster on the kick. It's pretty aggressive already. And I think I'm done with the kick drum. And I'm not having any nasty frequencies, thankfully, so I don't have to go in and try to stomp down on those with the multiband EQ. Yeah, so, yeah, we are going to head on over and start mixing the snare. We're going to start working on the snare now. Kick drum is going to be mostly done. I might tweak volume settings later. But what we will do now is we are going to simply add another track. We are going to make a bus for just the snare. So we're going to have the snare bus. Boom. And the snare bus is going to route not to the master, but to the, we're going to send it to the drum bus. And then the receives are going to be, we want it to receive the snare top, we're going to receive the snare condenser, and we're going to receive the snare bottom. So now we can adjust the snares within their own bus and put the correct, because I have the faders set how I want them, but now we're just going to worry about putting the proper effects on there on the snare bus. So I need to make sure, I actually need to change my settings. Let's see, I need to delete receives from snare bottom. Need to delete receives from snare condenser. I need to delete my snare top receive from my drum bus. Alright. Sorry again that you guys can't see the off-screen stuff. It just kind of, there's not a lot I can do because OBS isn't allowing me to do a window capture. It just won't find it for some reason. So snare bus has all of that. Sub kick, tom kick. Okay, great. We're all set up. So now my snares are running to the snare bus, then to the drum bus, then to the master chain, and then everything else is running to the drum bus, then to the master. So on the snare bus, we are going to throw on some very light compression with my, where is it? My Kotelnikov compressor. I just really love this compressor. Gives you a nice little visual thing. I'm going to brag about how it gives me a nice visual while it also doesn't, I can't show it on screen right now. But yeah, so for right now, we're going to listen to this snare track again, and we're just going to give a nice little sound, and I'm going to mess with the threshold and ratio until I get a snare sound that I like. I'm getting a note that things are a little echoey. So,
Just your voice.
oh, just my voice is. Oh, okay, because I got two mics. All right. Well, let's see here. I'm gonna crank down the volume on the Snowball quite a bit and see if you guys can still hear the mix. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this. There we go. Okay. If you guys, hopefully you guys can hear that okay. Okay, so, for now, we are going to move on and do, let's see here. So we have our, that's all my kick drum stuff, I don't want that on there. So my snare bus, we're going to do light compression, very light compression. There you go. The compressor makes things sound a lot nicer on the snare drum. I'll be right back, guys. I have someone giving me some more information about the audio quality here. Be right back. Nope, stream's not ending. Sorry, didn't mean to bring that up. Thank you for bearing with me. Please let me know. What the heck? There we go. That should be fixing the echo problem. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. My interface was getting read as one mic instead of two separate ones, so they were named incorrectly. That's what it is. Alrighty. Sounds good. Let's see again now if we can hear the mix properly again, because you guys are having issues hearing that, unfortunately. It was just brought to my attention. Alrighty, looks like you guys are being able to hear it okay. So yeah, we are going to move on to continuing after fixing technical difficulties. We're going to work on moving to my editing the snare bus. So I'm going to throw on my multiband EQ here, my white label 10Q, and we are going to try to get rid of some of that cymbal bleed from just the snare bus. So the kick, I'm going to mute. Kick sub, I'm going to mute. I'm going to mute the toms again. Mute, mute. I just want nothing except my snare. So I'm trying to stomp down and get rid of some of the cymbal bleed here. Make sure, do another audio check to make sure things are going okay. Okay. I'll turn up my mix volume just a touch. I don't like that sound though. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I can't quite find the right frequency for my for where my where those cymbals are, where that cymbal bleed is coming from. There's very little cymbal bleed here because it was mic'd up pretty well. I think I'm just going to leave it. The cymbal bleed isn't so bad that I can't deal with it. Okay. So I think it's clipping a little bit too much. I hear it clipping, which is not what we want. I want it as loud as I can get it here. Yeah, that's a clip. Not by much, but it was a clip, unfortunately. It's close, but I think we got it to where it won't clip. Okay, there we go. So we got a good level set, thankfully. Okay. We have a very light compression on the snare, which is good. We need that. Yeah, it looks like that's about it for snare effects. And I'm actually gonna go in here and use a faster attack, pretty fast attack and release, because I want to see what that sounds like. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna crank this down just one little bitty touch. There we go. There we go. So my snare bus is looking good. My snare, I like the tone I'm getting from my snares. The only thing I might change... I like the sound of that. So I'm going to leave the snare and kick as is. I'm going to reintroduce the kick. I'm actually going to raise my kick, or lower my kick stuff here. Let's try this again. There we go. Alrighty. Good stuff. One more time through, and this time I'm going to throw the toms back on so we can listen to the whole drum track with the snare and bass now mostly finished edited, or possibly finished edited if all goes well. I like the loud punchy snare, that's what I'm going for. I like it. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to up my kick a little more. And just one more time. Alrighty. So that is sounding good to me. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So, we are going to then... let's see here. Yep, so the snare we got about finished up. Let's see. So, I'm gonna adjust maybe my snare compression. Let me find my snare bus. And just look at my compressor settings here. It's about 4:1 ratio, so I'm gonna go a little higher on the ratio as far as my notes are showing me. And then, yeah. Alrighty. There you go, that's a nice crisp snare. I like that snare sound a lot. Alrighty. So, we will then move on to the toms, overheads, and room mics. Next time. Tomorrow we will be back to do so. I'm gonna go maybe mic up and play a little outro solo for you guys, or maybe I'll save that for tomorrow. I'll save it for tomorrow. We'll leave you guys on a nice little cliffhanger note of a stream. So yeah, you guys getting a little inside view on what it's like to be a mixing engineer and see someone mix a song. Now, granted, I'm not a professional, but it's always good to practice, good to learn all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, for now, I will let you guys hear just so you can kind of get a sense of um, what all is going on. I have only mixed snare and kick drum in this first hour that I've been working on it. I just loaded up the tracks on stream, but for right now, we are going to take a listen, and we are simply going to unmute everything. And we're going to listen to what this whole thing sounds like as of right now. Here we go. We're going to listen to it one last time on stream with every track unmuted. And the only thing mixed right now is some volume on the drums, and the kick and snare are the only two things that have been properly mixed. So here's what it sounds like right now. Whew, that is loud. Maybe I'm not going to do that right now. That is extremely loud. Oh my goodness. What is that loud? Let me just turn down my master volume for now, and I'll turn it up as we go here. Okay, let me try that again, because what I failed to realize is that I had my dries turned on, which is not what I want. Okay. I don't want my dry on. I don't want that. So it gives you a few different options for your what sound you want. So I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna crank this way down and unmute that and use that as my guitar sound. Let me just see and make sure. So these are the Coffee custom cabs. I'm gonna mute these, all of these. Mute the dry bass, because I had my dry tracks playing at the same time as everything else, which is probably why that sounded so terrible. Let's try that again. That's some pretty good bass playing there. So that's my lead tone. This is now no longer... Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on this. A lot of work to be done. But for now, based on just what we do have done, which is the snare and kick, which is all we have had time currently to go through and do, and mix the drums partially. Let me go back to just having that. Let's listen to just the drums again. Oh, where's the bass? Why do I have the bass on? There it is. I'm going to turn up the output on the compressor. That's like only doing the kick. I don't know why. So there's some volume things I'll have to tweak for sure, because there's something that's not being responsive with my snare. Yeah, I'm actually turning up my snare mic as we go, and it's not doing anything. So there's going to be some stuff to figure out for sure. Oh, it's because my master's so low. There we go. All right. Well, I like the way the drums are sounding so far. At the very least, I am happy with that. So we're gonna save that, and yeah, we have begun our mixing journey. As you can see, we got a lot of tracks to mix. I mean, look at this. Look at all these. That's not even all of them. That's all of them. There's a lot of tracks. So we will definitely be busy for a couple streams mixing this together, and you guys getting to see what it looks like to mix this, getting good practice from me, and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning into today's stream. I very much